Hello. How are you? Welcome to Weird World Weekly, a production of GalacticNetcasts.com. I'm Dave Nelson, and that guy right there is Matt Stein. Hey, Matt.
Hey Dave, something special about you whispering in my ear.
It's creepy, right?
We can go with creepy.
I think it's creepy anytime anybody whispers in your ear, even like a sexy lady. It's a little bit creepy, right?
I like to go up behind my friends and rub their shoulders and just like groan softly in their ear and see if I can creep them out. So I can get behind that.
Now that's weird, and that's the kind of stuff that we're going to talk about here on the Weird World Weekly show. Not necessarily that, but we cover things like paranormal. I guess ghosts and spirits would be in that category. Mythological subjects like Bigfoot or modern day myths, or not modern day, but like ancient myths, like Greek myths or whatever. Conspiracy theories, and we have a category called grab bag, which basically anything else that doesn't fit in those three categories, we throw in the grab bag. As long as it's weird, we'll talk about it. And how do we figure out which category we're going to pull from, Matt?
We spin the weird wheel of weirdness wheelness. I screwed it up, so I just kept going.
No, that's cool. No, go for it. You know, I say you start messing up, you go all in.
Yep, that's the way I do it.
All right, so let's spin that wheel and find out what we're going to be playing for this week. Hang on. All right, here we go. All right, I'm always nervous at this point in the wheel spinning. Slowing down. Where's it going to stop?
Mythological.
All right, let's start the timer. 15 minutes or less. We knock it out, so here we go. So, creepy urban legends that happen to be true. You hear the stories all the time, you know, especially when you're a kid, you're a teenager. Did you ever hear, or did anybody ever tell you, or did you tell some kind of weird urban legend when you were growing up, Matt?
Ton of them. The big one I mean, you were in Sheboygan too, but the big one was the Spanish house that was back behind the Sheboygan Mall, where there was a ton of different stories, but the most popular one was that there was a German scientist post-World War II lived there and would do experiments on people. So the dare in high school was to try and get inside the Spanish house because there was apparently so much security on it.
Oh, I never heard that one when I was there.
Oh, yeah, that was a big one for me.
Okay, well, here's some ones that actually happened to be true. They began well, I guess they didn't begin as urban legends. They began as the truth, and then they morphed into an urban legend. So, the first one, I'm not going to say what it is. I will let you figure it out as I go along here. A high-speed train engineer feels a slight bump as he's zooming down the tracks, but a quick check out the front window doesn't really reveal anything out of the ordinary. What is out of the ordinary is the piercing wail of every single person the conductor tosses a friendly wave to as the train passes them by. So what do you think's happening here, Matt?
I'm assuming he hit something or someone. Or someone wanted to kill themselves, so they laid on a railroad track, and this guy didn't see it and hit him.
Or it was a lady tied to the tracks, like you see in those old movies. And the guy couldn't get her out in time, and the train hit her.
Yep.
Possibility true. Well, turns out that's exactly the case. Not my example, but just generally a person. This is in France. High-speed train. Their trains go like frickin' like a bat out of hell. So he pulls into this train station just to investigate because he's curious. He's getting all these weird looks. And it turns out there's blood caked on the front of the train. Blood and guts everywhere. This is it happened around the village of Petite Croix. I'm sure I'm totally mispronouncing that. According to the conductor, we are looking at the speed controls and at the electrical equipment. We cannot see a pedestrian by the side of the tracks. If someone throws himself under the train, we are completely helpless. The train is like going 100 meters an hour. I still don't know my meters. No. He said, I cannot stop in 100 meters. 100 meters an hour? That's slow. That's really slow. So that's urban myth number one. So I guess there was a story going around that this train hit a person and people weren't sure if it was true or not. That one is true. So are you ready for urban legend number two?
Yes, hit me.
Okay. Imagine you're on the way to the emergency room when you pass out. Maybe you're in the ambulance or something like that. You pass out. And the next time you awaken, it's cold, pitch dark, and every breath you take is a struggle. Where are you, Matt?
My guess is going to be underwater, or you were buried alive.
Well, close to being buried alive. You are in a body bag in a refrigerator in the morgue of the hospital, but you're alive.
Weird.
Okay, so this one was true. Happened in 2011. Maria de Jesus Arroyo, an 80-year-old grandmother, was rushed to White Memorial Hospital in Los Angeles, where doctors quickly declared her dead of cardiac arrest. She was then wheeled off. Later, when the funeral home employees came to pick up her body, they found her lying face down on the floor of the refrigeration chamber, not actually in the refrigerator. She was out. They discovered that her body bag was partially unzipped. She was covered in cuts and bruises, and her nose was broken. So she basically freed herself. By any means necessary, she freed herself from that damn body bag and that damn refrigerator.
That's insane.
I know. She's 80-something years old, too. Pretty spry lady for 80 years old to do all that.
Well, I imagine age doesn't have a whole lot to do with it if you're, trying to get out of a situation like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think adrenaline will kick in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so final myth, final urban legend that just happens to be true. According to local legend, for years there was a man in a white bunny suit carrying a big axe and wandering the countryside near Washington, D.C. Now, imagine a man in a bunny costume with a big axe just walking around the countryside.
I mean, that's pretty similar to the guy or guys who dress up as a clown in, like, California. It started out in Europe, and now someone was doing it in L.A. too.
I saw that story.
That's
freaky.
That's terrifying.
So this is totally based on actual events. Around midnight, October 19th, 1970, so this is a while ago, Air Force cadet Robert Bennett and his fiancée were sitting in Bennett's car on a dark road. So I'm sure they're parking. Suddenly, a man in a white bunny suit appears from the bushes, shouting, "You're on private property, and I have your tag number," and hurled an axe through the window of Bennett's car. After this vicious attack, which somehow managed to not seriously injure either of them, the evil bunny hopped back into the woods. I like how it's written, hopped back into the woods.
Oh, part of me thinks that, I mean, if this guy is crazy enough to dress up as a bunny and throw an axe at a car, that he was probably like, screw it, I'm going to hop away.
See, he's all in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you do. You go all in. All or nothing, baby. Okay, so another incident happened less than 2 weeks later. The bunny man was spotted standing eerily still on the front porch of an unoccupied house. When a security guard approached him, he whipped out his now trademark axe and started hacking at one of the porch's support beams.
Oh.
And then he yelled, "All you people trespass around here." And he went to town on the defenseless house. So basically he took the axe and instead of killing somebody, the security guard, he just killed the house. The security guard went back to his car to retrieve his gun, but the last thing he saw was the bunny man wandering off into the forest. As far as anyone knows, he's still out there.
He might be, although 1970, if he was even 40, he's 84, 85 right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, maybe he had a son or a grandson that took up his mantle. Carried on the bunny man with the axe.
I'll give you that one.
So if you had the chance to start an urban legend, what would you do? Or what would the urban legend be?
Probably, I would want to do something similar to the bunny man. but
Yeah.
something different. Like the weird wandering clown is really intriguing to me because it's like no one knows who this guy is. He just dresses up as a clown and people see him and disappears for a while. So stuff like that's kind of cool because it's not different, but it's different.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like, oh, you look in a mirror and you say this one thing 3 times and this person shows up and they kill you. This is like,
And
you
this
know,
is something that could actually happen. It's not like outside of the realm of possibility. It's not like a mystical thing or a paranormal thing. It's an actual thing. Like a person could actually be in a bunny suit carrying an axe trying to kill you.
absolutely. And I think it's a little, well, I don't know if it's less scary that he doesn't kill people, the bunny doesn't kill people.
He just
Just,
stabs people and kills houses.
yeah, yeah, or throws an axe at a car. To each his own.
I'm sure that the story was exaggerated greatly because just tearing down a house with an axe is not that scary.
No, not at all. But you think about it, if you're the owner of that house and you're standing there and this guy just starts taking an axe to your house and you go to defend yourself and he just like kind of wanders away.
And okay, it doesn't make sense that he's actually tearing down the house with an axe because he's mad at the trespassers, right? So why is he demolishing the house with an axe?
This is a great question. I'm assuming the guy is a few cards short of a deck if he's dressing up like a bunny.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's obvious, but he should have gone after the car, right? He's gonna
Well,
just
you,
do
you
anything.
you would think, but it's not his house.
That's
It's
true.
just it's just
Okay.
an unoccupied house. Although I don't know, maybe he's really vigilant about trespassing.
He's getting rid of the property that will be trespassed on. That's what he's
Yes.
doing.
Yep, he's making it so you can't trespass anymore.
All right, so we would love to hear your urban legends that may or may not be true. Email them, galacticnetcasts@gmail.com. That's our email address, galacticnetcasts@gmail.com. Or call them into our voicemail number. That is 805-328-3966, 805-328-3966. You can follow us on Twitter, Google, and Facebook, Google Plus and Facebook. All the information about the show, including links to subscribe, is at our website, which is, Matt, do you know what it is?
Our website?
Yeah.
What kind of a question is that? It's galacticnetcast.com? Yeah, it is .com.
Just
I wasn't sure if it was .com or .net.
I mean, you're a co-host, but you don't have to know all these things.
But I do know the internet pretty well.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, again, galacticnetcasts.com, like Matt said, links to the shows and the subscribe. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn. We're on there as well. So that does it for this edition of Weird World Weekly. Until next time, Matt.
Keep it weird, Dave.
Bye-bye. Okay.
I like at the end where it goes.